I am alive and it is great to be alive. Okay, I wanted to give my first impressions of Anthem. I got a good amount of hours, I'd say probably like 6 to 8 with the VIP demo this weekend. I was lucky enough to get in. I didn't get in on the first day though because obviously there were some issues, okay? It was kind of a total disaster, but I'm not going to talk about that because I don't care. I'd much rather them have these issues with their servers and everything on a demo day as opposed to on launch day. So hopefully launch day everything goes smooth, but I'm not really going to talk about that. Today I want to talk about the game itself, and I have to be 100% honest, this is the coolest video game that I have played in a long time, at least the coolest new IP that I've played. So I'm not talking about like Monster Hunter or Warframe, things I've been playing for a really long time. Monster Hunter World was awesome, and that was probably my game of the year last year and everything, but that is not a new franchise. That is just a new entry to a series of games. So Anthem, I'm digging absolutely everything about it. The gameplay feels fantastic. I remember when I was watching gameplay of it, I'm like, yes, it looks great and everything. The flying looks fun, but how's it going to feel? Because no matter how much fun it looks to fly around in this game, if you get in there and you start messing around with the controls and you're like, oh my gosh, this is abysmal. I hate controlling this. It's super clunky. That would have really bothered me, but it felt really easy. I got in and I started messing around with the flying controls almost instantly, and it felt weird just because I wasn't really sure what to expect with the flying controls. It wasn't what I was expecting, but in a good way. So I started playing around with it, and I was like, man, this feels really weird, but it felt good. I've just never played anything else that felt like that. So the flying in this game is absolutely amazing. It really does change up the combat and the dynamics, especially depending on the character that you play as. So I, for example, was playing as the Storm, so I have a really easy time staying airborne and having an energy shield around me, which allows me to attack from the air, but I'm also very vulnerable. And it's cool too because the way it changes up your combat dynamic is, let's say you're a more grounded javelin, but you're getting like shot up a whole bunch and stuff. Well, you can very easily go into flight mode, flank around the enemy, hide behind a rock real quick, throw out a grenade, and it just lets you like have more positions from which to attack. So I really enjoyed that. It doesn't feel as much like you're in a straight shooter hallway, you're getting pinned down. It's like you have more options for flanking. The gunplay also felt great in this game. I really enjoyed all of the unique loot. A lot of people were saying that the shooting wasn't very satisfying in this game. I'm not really seeing that. I think it's just fine. I have no issue with it. I do have a couple of small complaints, which I'll probably address at the end of the video, but they're really small and nothing that's going to get in the way of me like enjoying this game. So I'm the type of person that doesn't like to spend a whole lot of time playing a demo because it's just a demo. I don't like to get super into a game. I don't like to get super into a game that I'm not really going to get to sink more time into. Like, there's no point to it. I can't help but feel like it's a little bit of time wasted. I don't want to reach that point where I start getting cool guns that I like or I get a build that I'm in the flow of, because you're not going to get to keep it anyways, right? So there's no point in like, oh, sweet, I got this awesome gun, because you're not going to keep it. It's going to get erased. So I try to limit myself in the demo, but this is the first game that I honestly couldn't help it. I would keep telling my wife like, oh, I'm done playing Anthem for the demo, until the game comes out. It was pretty cool. But then like today I come home from church and I booted up Anthem because it's just so satisfying to play. Especially with all the character abilities. I thought those were really cool. I really like the varying customization that you can have. So like, for example, I was playing as the Storm, but I could equip ice powers, fire powers, lightning powers, and it's the character customization in this game, at least with your loadout, is really, really good. There's all kinds of cool mods and stuff you can equip, which is pretty similar to Warframe, so I really appreciate that. And it's not tied to your looks, which I also appreciate, so you can look however you want, but you can have whatever gear loadout you want. A lot of the gear also caught me off guard as well, because just when I would say, okay, I'm probably done playing now, I've had my fill for the beta, I would freaking go in and check out my new gear and be like, oh, well, I at least want to see what this new power, for my Storm does. And then I see what it does and I'm like, that's so freaking cool. Of course I'm going to play another mission. And then I keep getting more awesome loot. And this is just a demo, so the fact that I already really got into the flow of things and the grind and was really enjoying getting new loot, like, having that in the full product, if that's the experience that I'm going to get, then I am more than satisfied. A lot of people are saying this is kind of, or joking, maybe, I don't know, that this is the love child between Warframe and Destiny. I don't really think that's a good comparison to make because this doesn't really feel like any other video game I've ever played. I guess you could say that the loot is somewhat similar to Destiny in the sense that, like, your power level or how strong your value is based off of the level of all of your equipped gear and stuff. So that, in a way, is similar to your light level from Destiny. But at the same time, like, that's pretty much the only thing they have in common. And I definitely wouldn't say this is like Warframe. The only way you could say this is like Warframe is that you control characters with abilities. And if that makes it like Warframe, well then I guess almost every other game is like Warframe too. So this game feels great to play, really unique. I also love the visual style of it. The game world looks surprisingly detailed, given that it is a third-person open world 4-player co-op game. I really enjoyed it. I was playing it on the Xbox One X, and the game does look fantastic. Some of the lighting effects are a little bit extreme. Like when I'm casting some of my powers, no doubt they look cool, but it's like, do they have to be so cool that they're almost blinding, like to my television? But aside from that, really great. And this obviously comes down to opinion, but long story short, this looks like and feels like one of the most promising video games that I've played in a really long time. Just ever since they showed this game off, I had really high hopes. I've just always been really fascinated by just the visual style they went for, the type of gameplay they were promising, and I gotta say, I was not displeased with the demo. It was pretty much as awesome as I was hoping it would be. So far, I'm very impressed with the game. We'll obviously have to wait for the full product to come out to see how this plays out, but I'm pretty much blown away, and I am sold. I'm not upset, like I said, that they had VIP demo problems. It's, you know, yeah, it sucks, but it happens. I'm glad they're resolving it, so hopefully we won't run into that on launch day, though I'm not going to hold my breath for that. It's probably still going to be a hiccup here and there. But once they iron these things out, this is looking up to be like probably one, I don't know. People might play this more than Destiny, more than Warframe. I have no idea. I'm really excited to see how well this game builds up its community, because I know it's got like a really expensive and big budget, so people are expecting big things, but I think it's going to have to earn its way in the gaming industry just like everything else has, just like how Warframe has and how Destiny had to build their communities. So it'd be really cool to see what happens there. My 3 very small complaints with this game right now is that when you're customizing your javelin, depending on the material that you pick, there's not a whole lot of color customization. So if you pick a metallic, like real metal, shiny looking texture, there's really only like silvers or blacks and golds to choose from. There's no like, you know, you can't pick whatever color you want, like green, because if you pick like leather or hard plastic, you get like a color wheel and you get to specifically make the color whatever you want. So I don't know if that's just because this is the demo. We'll see how things look in the full product as well as the game continues. I'm sure they're going to add more cosmetic options, but that's my only complaint, is that if you pick metal, your color options are really limited. And then also when you're shooting in this game, it does look a little like, it looks fake. You know, it just reminds me I'm just playing something that someone programmed and put together, because when you shoot, your character's upper torso stands almost completely like robotically still. I mean, I know you're in a javelin, but stands like perfectly still, and then your legs as you're walking around look like they have a mind of their own. So again, it just looks like a very kind of clunky and clumsy, which really throws me off. But again, like I said, it's nothing that's going to ruin my enjoyment of the game. It's just really something cosmetic. In fact, both of those complaints are cosmetic. And then my third complaint is just that the matchmaking, hopefully again different in the full game, but in this game I kind of just wanted to free roam with, you know, one of my friends or maybe 1 or 2 of my friends, but they force you to play free roam with other people in the game world. And normally that wouldn't be a problem because it's going to be a big wide open game world, but it does ruin your fun when you're running around in an open area exploring things at your own pace, or like, oh snap, you found out there's a fight over here, and then another player just flies over and like nukes everything and moves ahead or something. Like, it kind of ruins you exploring the world at your own pace. And I had the same issue with missions. It wouldn't let me play solo for missions either. I don't know if that's a glitch. The demo had an option for private, yet not a single thing I tried to do privately. The game just kept saying, we're going to switch it back to public because that's the best way to play the game. So why even have private listed as an option? It made no sense. So then we ran into a couple glitches because me and my friend would be way far back in a mission, and our teammate would just bolt ahead and teleport us to like the end of the level. And then when we got there, the dialogue wouldn't trigger, so then the boss room wouldn't open up, and we kept running into issues. It's kind of a disaster, but aside from that, I think private play really needs to be a thing in the final game. But those are my only 3 complaints. Like, if anybody was worried about this game being fun or feeling great to play, it absolutely does. It nails all of that, and it looks fantastic while doing it. So that is my first impressions with my hands-on time with Anthem. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions or comments, drop it down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out, everybody.